Hey, this is Floss and welcome to my studio. Welcome. I did music for a while, but I didn't really take it very seriously like a few years ago. But like I was really into Bitbird and stuff, and like from the first moment I saw them on I think I saw them on SoundCloud. Like I checked out San Holo and I was like, oh, what? This guy's from Zoetermeer, which I am from also. I was like, shit. So I went to some of the showcases and parties from Bitbird and kind of got to know people like Drulu, San, and like just the founders of Bitbird kind of. But I wasn't really like submitting any music to Bitbird at that time because I didn't really feel like it had the right, like it was good enough or anything. Actually, I started out doing more like dubstep stuff or trap stuff. Okay. And I did that under like another alias actually, Axel. I dropped that name because it was confusing as hell, and when I started doing like more indie stuff, I felt like it didn't really resonate with the music I made. You know, the name sounded kind of edgy or anything. Like eventually, I spoke to Tim. I live here for a few times before I started releasing on Bitbird, and I was like, fuck it, and I made it like a tribute of his song Coming Home and didn't really think much of it. Like Tim, I live here, he pushed it like crazy and he got everybody to listen to it, and also like San Holo. And I think that's kind of where my journey with Bitbird started. Yeah, that was at Melkweg, I think, like 2 years ago. And I had this shirt with it has I live here, Duskus, Thor, DJ Camping Stool, Drulu, San Holo of course, Bo Damien. So yeah, I was very excited about that. When I was younger I just kind of played guitar, and I've been playing guitar since I was 7 years old. And I always wanted to just do that and go to school for guitar too in the future. Like I discovered my producing software Reason because of a friend, so I started making like rhythm dubstep, or tried to do it. Eventually, what really kind of led to me using more acoustic elements or instrumental elements was like I bought this thing, audio interface. So I could actually play guitar on my records, and that just really opened up a world for me, because yeah, I could finally just play guitar on it, and guitar was already my instrument, you know. I've been doing that for like since I was a little kid, so it feels very natural. And then I started recording things like acoustic instruments, organic sounds, stuff like that. Things like this, it just, I don't know, I really like textures and Foley and stuff like that. And like if you listen to my music, you hear all these Foley textures and details, and like things like this do great for that stuff. And yeah, it's basically I just want to, in a few years I just want to have a studio with a huge amount of instruments, and really it doesn't really matter to me what it is. Like I can always find a purpose for it. Oh yeah, this is my favorite one. Like I had to keep this one because probably never gonna use it ever, but no way. Like, sounds sick as hell. So I really feel like I've made like good friends on the writers camp. To be honest, I was kind of nervous going there because I didn't really know these people yet on a personal level. Like I saw them like briefly on parties and talked to them a lot online, but if you spend a few days with them, like it changes a lot, and I felt super lucky to be there, just to say that. Aside from that, I made some cool music, did a nice session with a vocalist, and yeah, just had a great time. I had this collab with Tim. I live here. We like started this collab like a long time ago, like November last year, and like it could really use some vocals, so we had some vocalists over on the writers camp, and yeah, a singer called Sophie Winterson sang on this one. Like it's a bad quality file, but you probably won't hear it in the video. Show too much. It still needs some work, but I think like the vocals really opened it up. Like for me, like it kind of lacked a message in a way, and now it feels more like a song. I did actually record my own vocals before. Okay. Also in my EP. Like the thing with me is I struggle a lot with writing lyrics. So if it was for me, like I would put vocals on every song, and like the singing isn't like a big deal for me, but writing lyrics, I just think it's very difficult. So I think that's why most of my songs just have humming in it, or just vocals without lyrics. But I definitely want to do more of that in the future. So. The initial idea was that there would be an acoustic version by Drew and me, and that would just be a remake with like acoustic instruments. And like Vincent actually came over here, and we messed around a little with my instruments and guitar and stuff. Like we sent the project around like a few times, and eventually it kind of led to something like bigger than just an acoustic version. Like it has a lot of still acoustic elements in it, but eventually like Vincent made a huge drop, and it just worked better for this song, I guess. And so we just decided to call it just like a collaboration remix, I guess. Like I've seen a lot of people like mention or talk about it like as if it's a flawless remix, but we really did do it together. Like those drops and stuff, like I have to give it to Vincent from Drulu. Most of the acoustic elements or like melodic elements, that's kind of what came from me, and like I did some structuring and mixing, but like the really hard-hitting electronic beats came from Vincent. We actually used this one in many words. It starts out with this one, so you can just tune it yourself. don't really want people to have any expectations about my music. Like right now I put out some music that kinda has the same vibe or genre to it, but like I really want to just keep trying different things and keep experimenting. One thing that makes me unique is that I want to try like different things, like even like trap or electronic stuff. Like if it's somehow it'll have my imprint, you know, and that'll probably be because of the indie acoustic elements, but also I don't see a lot of indie artists really collaborate with electronic artists or like EDM artists, and I'm like fine with that because I love EDM and trap and stuff like that. So I really want to like bridge the gap between like electronic music and indie music, because it has always been like a very separate thing, and maybe like there's like a negative feeling towards those two genres sometimes, but like if it sounds good, it sounds good, you know. Right now I just feel like I'm kind of starting out, so I don't really feel like I have anything to prove or something. I just want to experiment and just make stuff I like, I guess. I hate that thing.